elected as a judge.
Right.
But
I've had
then
problems with Heller, Jacobs, Provader, lots of judges. Conflicts of interest, criminal ones. I mean, honestly.
Right. Well, she was criminal, and she has admitted in one of the people in my group.
All right, repeat her name. I'm looking for her name.
It's Jane
Uh-huh.
B. Emmons, Emons.
So she was not removed from the bench, but she was not appointed.
That's correct.
Okay.
And now she was not put back on the bench because of her ethics, backroom dealings. Attorney Grennan in Fairfield testified against her. You could watch all that on YouTube. I testified against her. So
Okay.
did so many other people.
Mm-hmm.
And
So she's still practicing law, though, in Stanford. I'm looking at her registration.
that's right. And she's also teaching ethic classes in the Fairfield Board of Board for Realtors, for lawyers, and we protested that too, saying she was thrown off the bench because of her ethics, and you're letting her teach an ethics class? What's wrong with you people?
I think I'm looking at her picture, and here's her phone number, here's her email address. She's I'm looking at her site, Cohen and Wolf.
Yep, they picked her up after she was debenched, let's put it that way. And I'm right now filing a motion, which I already filed, to reopen my divorce because she took away all my constitutional rights. She didn't let me talk. She told me I could have a trial, but we would come back to her and she'd make the final decisions.
Right, so here she was. She was making rulings. She was debenched, and they never went over her case history, her case law.
No, and if you look up Attorney Grennan in Fairfield, who testified against her,
How do you spell that?
Grennan, I believe. He represented the Black and Spanish caucus against her because it was an atrocity.
Well, you think she was a racist?
Oh, I think she was a racist. I think she's a psychopath. She told one of the girls that was on our group that she either signed her divorce papers or she'd put her in jail. She told me if I didn't do what she said, she'd make me and my son very, very sorry. I mean, she threatened you, she yelled at you, she jumped out of the chair. They had the most complaints in history written to the judicial board, the one
Okay.
at Harvard.
Now, is this Nicole Grennan? No.
Pardon?
Is it Nicole Grennan? No.
No, it's a guy. Oh God, what was his first name? Greenan, Grennan, I think it is. And also another attorney in New Haven testified against her, and the lawyers played dirty pool, bringing my son into my case to terrify me, and they used it against me. But the other case, they took the child away, gave it to a person that wasn't even a family member. After so many years, they got the child.
Oh, here, Thomas A. Grennan, Gross and Welch Attorneys at Law. That's the guy? Philip Grennan, Wood, Smith, Henning, and Berman?
That might be it. He's on YouTube. If you look up Emmons on YouTube, you'll see the testimony. I have the whole transcript of the testimony of what people said about her. But she just filed, one of the people, Gonzalez, I think it's Gonzalez, his last name. But anyways, they finally got to get a subpoena against her because she went outside the realm of what a judge can do and talk to DCYS and all that, and was being advised in the doctors, and she admitted in the affidavit that she did do that, but she can't be sued because she's protected under,
immunity. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the only Gonzalez that came up was a person in Columbus, Ohio. It's not her. Not him. So, yeah, I don't have all the facts, but, you kind of need the facts to discuss this stuff. I do have her page.
Well, if you look her up on YouTube and you look at all the testimony, And then the other girl that was in the case, and she writes a lot of articles. She's going to send her latest article to you. You know, I went to the head judge of Connecticut, Carroll.
Yeah.
Patrick Carroll.
He does nothing.
And he gave me his office advised me to look up the canon laws because I refiled for my divorce and they gave me Kennefick, a Judge Kennefick back. And I said...
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me mention something. Rep Gonzalez opposes Judge Jane Emmons on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll play that later.
Oh, yeah, well, there's several cases all clumped in with this woman that we're still fighting her.
Yeah, there's only 16 subscribers, so it's hard to get the word out. Oh, here we go. I see your picture. I see Rep Gonzalez talking about her right now, so I'll come back to that. But yes, I mean, it's important because the problem, the transcripts I'm reading, I mean, these judges are threatening people, saying, oh, you might get rid of me, but no, you won't get rid of all of us. We're all working together. I'm like, what?
Okay, so here's the thing. So I refiled my case, right?
Right. Sounds good. Sounds like you're on the ball. Yeah.
And they put Kennefick back on, and I filed for him to disqualify due to the canon rules saying if you think it will harm your case, and the judge should recuse himself, right?
Right, right.
They denied me. Judge Grossman, she said, nope, there's not enough reason he's staying on the case.
Okay.
So now I'm waiting for a decision to see if, because under Rule 79A, I meet the criteria. My husband buried money, hundreds of thousands with his daughters. He never put it on his affidavit. They brought my son in to stress me out. I was a cancer patient. I was going in for major breast surgery in a month. Was under so much stress.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I understand.
Yeah, it's been bad. So I settled. I just said, I can't do this. I lost my voice. I couldn't talk anymore. And Judge Emmons gave me nothing. She took away the child support that was ordered that he never paid. She never gave me a car. She didn't give me any alimony. I was with this guy over 25 years. And she took away every right that I had.
Well, how young was the youngest kid?
No, my son was a grown man by this time. They brought him into court and said that they brought him into court and said that I put my house in his name, and Vinny didn't know about it. That was my husband.
Yeah.
But it was Vinny's suggestion, and I have written letters saying it was. She wouldn't look at any evidence. She just kept saying to my lawyer, "Nope, she gets nothing. She gets nothing." And we sold a house in Florida. They wrote him a check. He took the check, and then he went back and he said, "I don't want the check. I want the wire. I want a wire transfer." So he wired the money from Florida to Connecticut. Then he bought another house and didn't put my name on it and didn't give me my share of the house. She said, "Oh, that's okay." What do you mean that's okay?
That's a joint asset.
Huh?
That was a joint asset.
Yeah.
You should have split it down the middle, at least.
And my house that I owned, I got from my parents before I even married them.
Oh, boy.
So we had no claim to that house. No matter what I did with it. I actually didn't even know where he was for a year and a half to 2 years when I sold one house and bought the other house, because his name was never on anything, right?
Right.
So anyways, they gave me Kennefick back. Now they said they can't take him off the case. He won't recuse himself.
Right.
So we're going to have another hearing on January 20th, and it's to see if, now if you look up the case Gohill at the Supreme Court, they overruled the appellate court saying that truth is the cornerstone of our judicial system, and if they lied on their affidavit and all this other stuff that my husband did, the case should be put aside and reheard.
Right.
I guess I'm going to find out on the 20th if it's going to be reheard or not, and then I'll have to take it to the appellate court if it doesn't go my way.
I'm talking, let me say one thing. I'm talking to a guy who has 5 kids, and the wife is a drug addict. Now, the older kids are fine because they're 21 and 23 or 24, but he happens to have twin 8-year-olds and a 10-year-old. who haven't spoken to him in a very long time. And, you know, he pays the alimony, he pays the, you know, everything he needs to pay. And he makes quite a bit of money. And they take it right out of his paycheck.
They don't care. My friend who was also in the group, Emmons told him he had to pay $50,000 to have a weekend with his triplets. And he hasn't seen his kids in years. And he goes, well, what is it? Do I eat or do I keep paying the court? And then Kennefick got,
right, there's an awful lot of... the court is stretched so thin that there's really no fairness going on. I haven't seen too many things that would encourage anyone to go to court, especially since I represent myself. You understand that you can't get anywhere. They won't give you a subpoena. They won't allow you discovery. And I have a case pending with 500,000 felonies, and we have no financial records. Unbelievable.
With my girlfriend Lee,
yep,
the DOJ changed, falsified her phone records just to prove that she rang the Judge Emmons doorbell and ran. The girl had cancer. She has the breathing.
Did she get in trouble for that? Did she get, like, arrested for that?
She got arrested, but finally she fought it and fought it and fought it. Look up Leah Whitman. She's always putting stories on the patch, and these judges won't recuse themselves. They throw the cases out. They contradict themselves in everything they say.
Oh, it looks like Lee Whitman. Hold on. December 19th, 2020?
Yep, Lee Whitman.
Lower Paxton Township, PA? No, that's not it.
No, she lives in Fairfield, Connecticut. She just got accepted. Her case just got accepted to the Supreme Court against Judge Giorgio, the one you just talked about on one of your...
Oh, Gennaro? Gennaro?
Yep.
And what's the case? What's that case about?
Well, they won't recuse themselves, and they keep throwing all her cases out.
Right.
He contradicts...
I have a statement of Gennaro who did... I have on my computer a case where Gennaro did recuse himself, right? And then he came back and ruled 3 more times.
Exactly. And how do you get a fair trial if the same person, and if you read the canon rules...
Right, I can share that transcript with you if you like. I've read it. It's ridiculous that he would...
It's ridiculous. I have it. Lee's a friend of mine. She's actually sending out another notice. It'll be out in a couple of days. I told her to send it to you because she names me in it.
Okay.
Now, these judges won't... So...
Well, I'm glad you're able to speak freely about it, because a lot of divorce stuff no one wants to share. But I can assure you, I know one of the worst divorce lawyers in Stamford, Connecticut. I mean, I know one of the worst ones. And I know one of the best ones. I know one that's absolutely superb. But unfortunately, you know.
Well, I know some... I was a court reporter.
Oh, okay.
And I worked for the federal judges.
Right.
And when I went in to get my divorce, I never saw court like this in my life. I have lost all respect for anybody in the judicial system. And Tong, when I went to testify against Emmons, I had just had major surgery.
Right.
I had what you call a...
Did you say Tong? Did you say William Tong?
Yes.
Okay, what was his role?
What he did to me.
What did he do?
So I had a shirt on, say no to Judge Emmons, meaning we didn't want her to go back on the bench, right?
Right.
And I got up to testify. I had 4 tubes. I was walking with a walker. I just had latissimus surgery. And if you don't know what that is they cut the muscle in your back, bring it around the front, and try and build you a breast, because they gave me...
Oh, I got you. I've seen that before. Yes, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it was pretty horrific.
Right.
I was only out of surgery a couple of days, and I got driven up there with 4 tubes hanging out of me and a walker, and I had the T-shirt on. He told me that I could not testify unless I take the T-shirt off. I said, I can't take the T-shirt off. I have 4 tubes in me. He said, well, then you won't be testifying. I said, what about freedom of speech? He said, that doesn't count here. And he made them drape a white cloth in front of me for me to testify. If you watch me on YouTube, you'll see me sitting there with the white cloth.
Can I see that? Can I see what Tong's statements were? How?
I have the transcript.
Can I have it?
Yes.
Tong is a despicable creature.
I said, first of all...
By the way, I've asked him to arrest Richard Colangelo, our chief state's attorney, for a bribe in a murder case.
Yeah, well, guess what? Tong doesn't even have the credentials.
I know, he has no history. By the way, I have more court time than he does, and he's our attorney general. And I'm a carpenter, painter, plumber, electrician. Hello.
Yeah, well, I have more court time than him being a court reporter for all those years.
Of course. I mean, now, did you realize this? Let me say something. There's a guy in Stamford claiming that Tong falsified his delegate signatures when he ran to become attorney general. Now, I saw the arguments about him not having the proper credentials, and he doesn't. And he doesn't.
No, he doesn't, and I know that for a fact.
Right.
And I have a whole room of witnesses that will say he said I couldn't testify unless I covered my shirt.
Now, here you go. You had a medical exclusion.
Yeah, well, he didn't care.
And what does he expect? You're gonna whip out another blouse? Is that what he expected? That you would carry 2 blouses and go on the stand and change in front of him, or what?
With 4 tubes, and I'm with a walker. It's a miracle I was even there, but I said if I had to go up in an ambulance,
right,
I was going to testify against...
Well, yeah, if you can send me that transcript, I would love to use it.
Yes, and I want to tell you, Joyce the Voice told me about you.
Joyce the Voice is awesome. She saved that kid.
Friend of mine.
She saved that kid.
Pardon?
She saved that kid.
Oh, she fought for that kid, and we all thought, what the hell? How do you take a baby from somebody?
How do you driving past a hospital to get medical, just to get a observation? How do they sedate you and steal your child from your womb?
I don't understand it.
But you know what people don't understand? The judge, Figura, gave the baby to her own court clerk. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the whole case very well. I'm a halfway intelligent woman. I
right.
hope you could tell by speaking to me.
I totally agree. But the problem is in court, you understood and got your life experience from being a stenographer.
Exactly.
You got an education. Right. These other people, they don't know their rights. They don't know how to defend against an unscrupulous judge. I have dealt with judges that put hits on people through, Judge Provader, listen to this. He worked with Larrabee, Chief Larrabee in Stamford. They use a hitman, okay? His name is Richard Filippelli. He was hired by a dirty cop to kill a clean cop named Lamb. Then he was hired by a dirty cop to kill a clean cop named Dealey. And I'm telling you right now, Provader denied us the 911 calls when the same murderer was sent to kill me. Okay? I fought the guy. And the guy said, hold on, let me finish. The guy said, straight up on a 911 call, Mr. Flynn, don't call the police. I'm working for them. I said, excuse me? He's like, I got sprung to come here and get you. I'm like, excuse me? It's all on the 911 calls that we were denied. So we had 3 trials, right?
Yeah.
Jacobs, Heller, and Provader against 3 different unscrupulous police departments, and one got indicted. East Haven got indicted. 5 of the cops, Carey, Zullo, Spaulding, and Miller, got 5 years apiece for what they did. Not against me, what they did against other people. So here we go. We have a problem in that confidential informants are being approved to commit crimes in Connecticut. You understand? And creating a victim, and I'm not the only one. They did it to 28 people. It's insane.
Well, this girl was also part of getting rid of the judges, and she moved out of the state because she said they were following her, they were taking pictures of her.
Right.
She said, my life was in danger. So she left. She dropped the whole subject and left.
Wow.
Okay?
I really take my hat off to you because, you know, if you don't speak about what happens and what you witness, now, the fact that you weren't allowed to testify, right?
Nope.
In a case against a judge, are you joking me?
Well, they let me testify after they covered my saying no to Judge Evans. But
right. Oh, I'd love to see the transcript.
Freedom of speech in this country. What happened to, you know, and she lied, the judge lied under oath. I had all I could do to contain myself to sit in the chair and listen to her. Mm-hmm. Her testimony was total bullshit.
Right.
And yet they didn't fire her. They didn't take her license away. And my husband's lawyer lied so much in the case, in the first trial.
Right. She's practicing law to this day.
Yeah, well, I filed with the bar for subordination of perjury because she lied constantly. Mm-hmm. Gave them the information.
And what was the outcome? Did Michael Bowler handle it?
I'll have to look through my records.
Or Stephen Conover? Does that ring a bell, Stephen Conover?
I don't know. That was a while ago.
Oh, I've got 32 complaints filed myself. 32 unanswered complaints with the bar.
Yeah, they vote for each other. Now she's doing it again. She said, now she's
and they have immunity. You realize they get immunity for what they do.
Yeah, well, that's what Emmons said. She admitted that she did this to this guy with his son and the brother. Mm-hmm. She said he walked into court. She had him brought down to the clink because she said, arrest him now. She didn't even want, my other girlfriend brought her girlfriend so she'd have a witness. She drew her out of the courtroom. They didn't even want, they should have cameras in these courtrooms to see what these...
Oh, you're not allowed to record them.
Nobody was recording them. They were just sitting there.
No, but you should be able to record in the courtroom if you're testifying. Excuse me, that's insane. Because I've gone back.
To record every case in the courtroom so they could see the antics of these judges.
Right.
She got up one day so fast her chair fell over. Thought she was going to come out from behind the desk and hit somebody.
Right. I've talked to Ethan Book, who has a case where the transcript is just empty. In other words, they took everything out that they were talking about.
Yeah, she has things in there in her transcript that weren't even true. And clerks have even told her that they had information in this girl, Lee Whitman, let me tell you something. Her husband was a millionaire. The kids wanted the money, so they had them sign everything. They threw her out of her apartment in Fairfield. They took all the money, and then they had him put in a home, the father, right?
Is that Evan Whitman?
Yeah, Lee Whitman.
No, who is Evan Whitman? Who is Evan Whitman? No?
That must have been her. I don't know if that's her husband or her stepson, but they denied her the right to ever speak to her husband again. He died in that home, and she never got to talk to him. They admitted that his mail was held up and never delivered to him by the woman that worked in the home. This girl cannot get justice. She has been fighting for, I don't know, 8 years now, I think it is.
Wow.
And she cannot get justice. And then when she went before...
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that the justice system in Connecticut, the Constitution state, is just void? They don't even look at the Constitution?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know Lori Hopkins Kavanaugh?
Pardon?
Do you know Lori Hopkins Kavanaugh?
No.
She's a constitutional advocate.
Yes.
And she's getting absolutely railroaded. I mean, at every turn. They're going after her real estate license. They're doing every single thing they're doing is to financially ruin this woman who can quote the Constitution. She knows every word.
I've read the Constitution, and if I told you how many of my rights were taken away in that courtroom by Judge Jane B. Emmons, let me tell you, I'm ashamed to say I'm even American now.
Is she worse than Judge Figura?
Pardon?
You know,
she's in the Supreme Court now against Judge Segura. The girl Lee Whitman. Her case got accepted in Washington D.C. in the Supreme Court.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just saying that, you know, the lady who drove from Kentucky to Maine, who got stopped at Middlesex Hospital, I met her attorney in Arizona recently. What a lovely lady.
Yeah, she's not a drug addict.
No way. No way. She's no drug addict. Her husband's no terrorist. That's absolutely ridiculous. They're both med students.
But how do we stop? I've been telling everybody to vote for you. I would love to work on your committee.
Excellent. I need all the help I can get. By the way, I'm like alone. There's no GOP support in the state of Connecticut. They're all bowing down, kissing Tong's ring. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on here.
And Tong is crooked as crooked could be.
He certainly is.
And I know Gary Winfield on the Judicial Committee.
Right.
He's the head.
Right.
And
what's your opinion of him?
Well, he tries. I don't know how far he could go, but he tries. Now, I just sent him something because there's dirty pool in the court.
I've seen him speak, and, you know, I've seen some impressive speeches. However, you know, you have to prefer him over Senate Majority Leader Duff. That guy is an absolute criminal.
Yes, I do agree with that. But the funny thing is, you know, I go to court and file my motions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't do them electronically because I want them stamped and everything, right?
Right.
So I filed a motion on the 26th that didn't even get filed in e-service until the 29th, right?
Right. I'm not allowed to e-file. I'm not allowed to e-file. I've applied 3 times and been denied. Now, meanwhile, I'm on my 350th case. Can you believe that?
You can go into e-file.
No, they won't let me.
Oh, you have to. Why? That's illegal.
You tell me. I've talked to every clerk there is.
Well, Amy's the head clerk up there, and I had her look it up.
Amy hasn't returned an email for me for a year.
Well, you know what? I will look up her phone number. I have her home phone number.
Well, Amy just got named in a capias writ by Andrew Pritchard, and the administrative functions that these people are performing, I have filed over 200 cases in the Stamford Superior Court that were never put in the screen, and they are stamped 10 times each.
Well, this lawyer that my husband has filed an objection to my motion the same day I filed my motion, right?
Right.
But my motion didn't even go in till the 29th. So I said, how could she file an objection to something that didn't even go in till the 29th? She filed the objection on the 26th. So I went all around the mulberry bush, even to the head guy at the courthouse. And they said, oh, the lawyer was sitting there and she jumped up and said, oh, I want a copy of that right now. I said, that's not true. I asked everybody in there if they gave her a copy of my motion, and they said no.
Right. I've had problems with motions that would blow your mind.
Well, then I went to court 2 weeks later, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was there because I was trying to get this judge to disqualify. And all of a sudden, this girl walks out of the office, walks up to Tara Shirelli and says, where have you been? I haven't seen you. And I said, I got to listen to this conversation, right?
Right.
So Tara Shirelli turns around and says to her, oh, I haven't been here. I do everything electronically. I never come down here. I haven't been down here in months. So how the hell was she sitting in the room when I filed my motion Either the
Well,
judge
listen.
or the judge called her.
For me, I had a restraining order against me. I wasn't allowed to go to the clerk's office.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you know what? I've proven time and time again that they have destroyed documents. 500 financial crimes destroyed.
I believe that. They do it all the time in there.
Yeah.
Say
So-
they didn't get them. They don't know where they went. They don't post them.
Oh no, they were sitting on the clerk's desk for an average of 90 days each.
How about documents missing out of the file? I went with my girlfriend. She looked at the file.
I have 10 cases of documents they can't find.
Yeah, they can't find hers either. They said they weren't there. I saw them with her. I know they were there.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
I understand. They're destroying records so they don't have to hear cases.
Well, what can we possibly do? We are, all I want is my share of my divorce,
Right.
my alimony that I should have gotten,
Right.
and when a judge...
And the assets that were yours, the assets that you shared.
Exactly. And when a judge says across the room to my husband's lawyer, we have to get them divorced, and I look at my attorney and I said, what's that? We? He goes, I have no idea. If that's not collusion, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to know on January 20th.
Well,
If
thankfully, they haven't stolen your kids and gave them gender treatment. You know what I mean?
No, they haven't.
Well, I know a guy who is
my
going
friend-
through with that right now. He has a 13-year-old daughter. He's got other kids. No problem. He's a good parent. And they took his daughter when she was 13. They gave it to a gay couple, men, who convinced the daughter that she should be a man, and she's getting gender shots right now.
Oh, my God, that poor child.
The poor man.
That child doesn't know.
The poor man. He's like a Eucharistic minister, and it's destroyed his life. Really, they destroyed his life.
I know he feels devastated, but can you imagine being that child? Her life is ruined. It's beyond ruined. She's going to be something she might not even want to be.
So, we kind of have to talk about how the state, like you were saying, Gary Winfield, I don't really know him. I've only met him once. But,
Right.
I mean, he's the lesser of two evils, but is he a socialist or not?
Well, let me put it this way.
I mean, he's from New Haven, isn't he?
Yes, he's from New Haven. I've been to his home. I've been everywhere.
Okay.
I've been to breakfast with them, and
Right.
if I have to go as far as the appellate court, he knows the girl in the appellate court, so he can make sure I'm not dumped. Because the appellate court will just send you a
Would he
letter.
go with you?
Pardon?
Would he go with you?
Well, he'll make sure that the appellate court in Connecticut throws out 99% of the complaints.
Right. I filed 60 appeals, myself. I've never had one heard.
No, because they throw them out. And when everybody was filing...
Right, you can't appeal anything. You can't appeal any ruling. Now keep in mind, this was a murder case.
Well, all they send back is no fault found. They don't give you an explanation. They don't give you...
Well, here we go. You want to hear something? 2 years ago, Stephen Barrier was murdered in Stamford by 6 cops at 1:30 in the morning. I have the video. Okay? Snuff
Is that
video.
that black kid they tasered?
Oh, yeah. Now,
Okay.
think about this. At 5:30 in the morning, 4 hours later, 21 cops staged the body cam evidence. We have our video at 1:30, and they're running down the street at 5:30 saying, boy, that kid's fast. That was 2 hours after he died.
Yeah, and what are you going to get with that? How they going to win that? How they going to win that one?
No. They dismissed it. Why? I have standing. I have standing. Period. The same cops assaulted me. I pulled the doorbell ring off the house. They don't have my videos. There's 45 videos they don't have. So here you go. You file a case, you have standing, and they dismiss it, and you wonder, right in the document, it accuses the state's attorney of taking a bribe. Because...
Well, what do you think John Whalen retired for? Because this is all coming back. Do you know Lee Whitman got a call from Africa, from a black man, that did 6 years in jails here because he did the same thing to him that he did to her and falsified the phone records, changed them. When we went to the JOD, me and Lee Whitman, she had a signed subpoena so that she could go in and look at Emmons records and this and that. Do you know they wouldn't even let us in the building? So I said to the guy, we pay your salaries as taxpayers, and you're telling us we can't even come in the building? They said, no, you can't come in the building.
So they denied the subpoena.
Yep. They said, nope, you can't come in the building.
Yeah.
Imagine that. And then I said, what kind of judicial system do you represent?
I understand. Hey, I went to Judge Pravada, right? Who worked for 10 years. He was counsel to the city of Stamford under Malloy. He worked for Malloy. When Malloy became governor, he made Pravada a judge. And Larrabee, who worked for Malloy and Pravada, the judge, I tried to subpoena Larrabee for 911 calls on a attempted murder, right?
And they won't let you do it.
No. The judge says he issued the subpoena, and Larrabee refused it. Why? Because they worked together in Stamford, and Pravada had been defending the Stamford, police department for 10 years as chief counsel to the city of Stamford. Okay?
Oh, God.
He's like, Johnny, I issued you that subpoena. But he didn't enforce it. And he let Larrabee refuse it. Now hold on. Larrabee didn't answer his... Hold on. Larrabee didn't answer his interrogatories. He gave us no production. A. B. He didn't testify. He was called as a witness. He didn't show up. And he had a 10-year relationship with the judge who never disclosed any of his prior knowledge of knowing the guy. So here you go. I say, Your Honor, I want to put the chief of police on the stand and cross-examine him. What happens? He never reveals that he worked with the guy for 10 years. They're personal friends. They obviously had communication together because the informant said so. Hi, I'm here to kill you. I was sent by the chief of police and the police union. And you say to yourself, hold on a second. The judge is in on this? And you say, well, this is murder, folks. And I'm saying, when you're running into problems with your own assets, yeah, by the way, they put informants in that house. They told me never come back or I would be killed. Guess what? I own a house in East Haven. The address is 50 Co Avenue. I've never been back to the house since 2013. 8 years. Never been there.
I don't blame you.
Why? Because to get the knowledge, okay, to get the knowledge that the police are weaponized, right? Protected by the judges and the subpoena power, and they put no value on a life they are trying to snuff out. And they control the evidence in the Stephen Barrier murder. Yeah. Unfortunately, listen to this.
They're getting rid of everybody who could testify.
Colangelo wrote Tong asking for the $30 million. Tong agreed. Because the pen pal of the mom is Senator Richard Blumenthal. Here we go. That means they're in on a murder, you understand?
Yeah.
And they sent the $30 million, which was shared with Black Lives Matter and the NAACP in Stamford to stop the peaceful protests, which were 30 people protested, then 100, then 300, then 1,000, then 9 cops were injured in the last rally. You say to yourself, they wanted to stop the rallying of Black Lives Matter in Stamford, who had no permits. Okay? You can't just walk across a 4-lane highway with 1,000 people without a permit. That would never happen if you and I met in the street in Stamford. We would be arrested. But the fact is, they asked Tong for a check. They issued it. It was cashed. And the attorneys involved, Trish Lindsay, is not even licensed in the state of Connecticut. She's licensed in New York. There's a whole nother matter behind the scenes that involves Richard Colangelo, the false arrest of Darnell Crossland, and the bribe, and the destruction of evidence by Sean Bogger in the Stamford Police Department, and you can go on and on and on. They brought another chief of police from Easton to take over for Winneman, who resigned after viewing the snuff video. Okay? So he knows, he saw the video. He was shown the video by Pastor Ford. He was shown the video by Ben Crump and Mike Jefferson. So here we go. We know the entire story. The problem here, ready, is that the Stamford Advocate leaked a falsified story with falsified body cam evidence and leaked a story about the falsified autopsy. So how do you get in front of a criminal enterprise printing articles to cover up murders, collecting bribes? I say to myself, wow, this is really unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But here it comes back to simple frauds being allowed that escalate into bigger frauds and executive orders. And the real problem is that the judges you're talking about, okay, Judge Jane Emmons, was appointed. They knew she was corrupt. She was a Stamford Superior Court judge. She worked in New Haven, Milford, and she was a judge for 7 years for family court, correct?
8 years.
Okay, so now Heller became judge of family court. You understand who Heller is?
No, I don't know that, Judge.
Okay, Heller is on the Doulos case.
Oh.
Yeah. Heller is friends with Bernie Madoff's attorney, John Carberry, and handles all the financial crimes, or used to handle all the financial crimes. So I filed a $500,000, which have never been heard, because those cases were stayed. Okay?
Right.
So a lot of this financial crime stuff has never been heard by litigators who are, members of the same Stanwich Country Club, eat dinner together on the board of certain corporations together, denying subpoenas for each other. And when you look at the bribes that Bernie Madoff paid and collected from fund managers in Greenwich cocktail parties, I mean, these judges, Irene Jacobs, Heller, they live in Greenwich. They go to the parties. They're mingling, having dinners,
Right.
doing favors. And when you go to the courtroom against an attorney who's their pal, steering funds, having cocktail parties, steering funds, endorsing certain judges to fill certain roles, they're getting appointed to do favors, folks.
Right, and I got a Judge Goodwin, Karen Goodwin, who signed the contempt order.
Is that Goodwin, Shipman, and Poley or whatever? Is she related to the Goodwin law practice?
I don't know, but but she voted in my favor twice already.
Oh, so
And
chances
next
are
thing
she's
I know,
on. She might be
not
honest.
in New Haven anymore. She's in New London.
Oh, they moved her out of that jurisdiction. Okay.
They moved her out of the jurisdiction, and they have yet to enforce.
Well, there's a good one. There's a good one law firm in Connecticut. I wonder if she's affiliated with that.
I don't know, but she obviously saw the handwriting on the wall, because another case, Dana, she was trying to get her children, and the husband agreed, the lawyers all agreed, everybody agreed she could have her children.
Here, Shipman and Goodwin, LLP.
She was living in a hotel for months, right?
Vernon, Connecticut law firm. This is the Goodwin. I've heard so many terrible things about this firm, I can't even tell you. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, anyways, they moved her. So this, because they wanted to put Kenflick back on my case. That's why I got him back, and he was in favor of Emmons. But anyway, Dana, even though they had a signed agreement between everybody, lawyers, husband, her, Emmons denied it, made her stay in that hotel room. So she got the case transferred to juvenile. Emmons actually called the other judge in juvenile and said, you have to vote the way my decision went. The judge said in court to this girl, I didn't appreciate Judge Emmons calling me and telling me what decisions I should make, so I'm changing it. What she did, in essence, was just piss this other judge off. That night, the girl packed her stuff, took her kids, and moved to Texas.
Nice. Well, that was a wise move.
Yeah, that was a wise move, but they're not supposed to call other judges and tell them, you got to vote the way I voted, and this, that, and the other thing. Lee has so many records of contradictions, of not answering things. She brought it up to Tong and all them. Nobody does anything. So my question is, how are you going to fix this when you get elected?
Me? I'm
Yes.
I think that the real key is exposure of the facts. Because if, for example, right now we're collecting affidavits and we're suing judges.
Right.
Now that ought to help.
Can you sue Emmons for us?
I don't know the facts about Emmons, but like when you look at what's happening, I filed my first capias writ against Bob Duff. You think that will help?
Mm-hmm.
I'm accusing him of taking political bribes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
From Firetree, which is Robinson and Cole, to close Connecticut prisons and open private prisons in residential communities. They opened 2 of them in Norwalk, my town, on my street. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now, Bob Duff is bragging the crime rate is down. Bullshit. The murder rate is up 30%. Okay? They're not enforcing the law, so the court's closed. How can he maintain, right, that crime is down when the criminal court in Norwalk's closed for 2 years? Well, hold on a second. He's releasing all the inmates. They're getting out. One lady in Stamford was raped years ago by a guy. He's out and he's contacting her now, wants to kill her cat. Really? I mean, give me a break, Bob Duff. Will you be held responsible for that assault, the next assault of that character? Well, I'm getting her affidavit, right? She's working on it. She's,
Doesn't
you know.
it appear to you that the ones that are the guiltiest end up getting promoted instead of fired?
Oh, for sure. That's exactly what they do. I could tell you 10 judges promoted after a criminal act.
I can tell you some myself, and I'm like, how could these people be getting promoted when they're blatantly should be held accountable for what they did? And I said that in my testimony to the Judicial Committee. Why am I held to a different standard than her as a judge?
Well, you know, what I'm hearing about Judge Gennario, who's involved in a lot of stuff.
Oh, he's bad.
Well, his uncle is William Gennario, if you know who that is.
I don't know, but I read that he's gay or something.
Well, here we go. William Gennario, I just Googled it. He died in 2015. He was the Bridgeport Archdiocese priest that bribed families to cover up pedophilia.
Yeah, that I heard that story, yeah.
Right. So I'm not the only one. He was 84 years old. This is Judge Genario's uncle, okay?
Right.
So when you look and you say, what do they have on him to make him rule the way he does, right?
Right.
Well, they have an awful lot of pedophilia.
Right.
And you're saying you think he's gay? I don't know. I don't care. That doesn't really affect me. But the fact...
No, what his rulings are affecting everybody.
Well, here we go. I keep asking him to recuse himself, which he refuses.
He won't. He absolutely won't.
Well, he dismissed a murder trial of a kid tased to death in the head, under the chin, in the temples, and in the back of the head, on video, tortured to death. Tortured to death. No lie. Okay, so when you look, you try to find the worst case you can find, like that Fagora case with Theodora, that kid, that baby. Luckily, you know Joyce the Voice. I met her at a karaoke event. I mean, what are the chances of that?
She told me.
Yeah.
She told me.
I mean, I'm like, okay, you're a singer? What are you singing about? She's like, I wrote a song about a kidnapped child. I'm like, oh, I'd love to hear it. I'm like, wow, this is insane. She told me the story. I couldn't believe it. People can't believe it.
No, they couldn't believe it.
So here we go. I thank you for your time and effort. We're at 51 minutes. So let's call it a wrap. But if you can get me the transcript, every transcript you can find that has criminal conduct, I'd like to read it.
Okay. I'll have to...
Loving you. Happy New Year. I'm so glad you called. By the way, I talked to like 6 people over the weekend who all got screwed. I made 6 videos.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on a second. What's your problem? Oh my God, this is bad. Hi, a disabled guy had his house stolen? Really? Aren't they aware that a tax lien?
People are going to fight back eventually.
Well, here we go. What's going to happen is there's a new article I read today that the violence is an uptick due to judicial misconduct all over the country.
Absolutely.
131 judges just got the boot. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, why don't they do that in Connecticut, though?
Well, how can they if they're closed?
I mean, in Alaska and Florida and Philadelphia, I have a whole list of all the towns. You have a right, if you feel you're not being treated right by a judge, you can request another judge. In Connecticut, you can't. You can't even get the ones to recuse themselves when, according to the law, they should be recusing themselves.
Well, here we go. Let me tell you a story. Ready?
Okay.
There's a judge named Adams.
Mm-hmm.
He's a partner at Kelly Dry and Warren. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Okay, that's Bank America's attorney. Okay? So when Fleet Bank Boston merged with Bank Boston, it became Fleet Bank Boston. Then Bank America bought Fleet Bank Boston, which bought Quick and Riley, U.S. Clearing, all the different Fleet Securities. It bought Fleet, a lot of the Fleet subsidiaries. Anyway, so the judge, Adams, is a partner, and he has 10 attorneys working for him, right? That have claimed to be my attorney that I don't know, who have cashed 1,239 checks. The first check I went to the Stanford Police Department with was for a $250,000 theft. They have been investigating that check for 21 years. Okay? Holy moly. They stole millions of shares of stock from our brokerage firm, Greenwich Global, which was on Summer Street. Now, the judge has 10 attorneys on his payroll who cashed my stolen checks, and he doesn't think he has a conflict of interest. Can you believe that? Now, those are commissioners. Hold on. Those are commissioners of the court. You understand?
Yeah.
So I filed 32 complaints with the bar. No answer. 60 appeals. No answer. Okay. I have 61 judicial complaints with Mr. Carroll. Did you know that?
What does he do?
He's in charge of the bribery because he gives the mortgage foreclosure mill immunity. He gave Judah Epstein immunity. The problem is this. Get ready. Get ready. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Judah Epstein, the largest mortgage fraud kingpin in Connecticut, right? His son, he says, I am untouchable. This is what Judah Epstein says. My son's uncle, godfather, excuse me, is Lieberman, a U.S. senator.
Oh, boy.
You hear what I said?
Yeah, well, that's just...
So, Judge Carroll doing favors for senators. Look at Blumenthal. Do you understand the amount of crimes this guy has had control of?
Well, anybody who says they were in the war in a helicopter and found
That's
out
immaterial.
the lie,
That's immaterial. I'm just saying.
Just like if he lies about that, you know he lies about everything else.
Excuse me, his pen pal is the woman whose son got tasered in the head and died.
Oh.
Now, he knows that the body cam evidence is falsified. He's a sitting U.S. senator on the judiciary. Hello? He was instrumental in the murder bribe. Why do you think they paid it? By executive order from Lamont. Through Tong and collected by Ben Crump. You know who Ben Crump is?
No, I do not.
Okay, it's Trayvon Martin's attorney. It's George Floyd's attorney. It's Aubrey's attorney. He has 285 cases of black youths being misconducted by police. You understand? George Floyd. If people understood in Connecticut that the Stephen Barrier murder is worse than George Floyd, this was a kid working at Boston Market, a college kid, working at night to pay for tuition, murdered on his front step by 6 cops. Kilcoyne, Collins, Nucera. There are 21 cops in the body cam evidence 4 hours later. They collectively agreed to get an actor to play the role of the kid, falsify the murder evidence, give it to News 12, News 8, Stamford Advocate, the Norwalk Hour, and they agreed to publish it.
How come they don't publish it when we call them and say, you know what, this is what happened?
Hold on. Hold on.
Those articles won't come out.
You know what's going to happen? Someday, somewhere, somehow, something's going to happen.
I hope so.
Someday, somehow, somewhere. So what I'm saying is, the only way to stop the mortgage foreclosure mill in Connecticut, right, is to go after these kingpins who are protected by U.S. senators. Now, as Attorney General, Blumenthal, you understand Comey framed Trump, right? Comey was the Connecticut FBI director of Hartford. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The problem is, most people don't even know he was a Republican. You would think Comey was a Democrat. That's why all the Democrats got behind him. But what happened was Dalio, the largest hedge fund in Connecticut and the world, bought Comey. You understand? Blumenthal referred Comey with Himes for the Mueller report. You understand?
It's all a setup.
It's a pay-for-play bribery problem that the senators are in charge of. Look at Burisma's bribes to Blumenthal and Murphy, both of our senators, during an impeachment. Murphy said to the Ukraine president that if Biden is investigated on behalf of Trump, he would withdraw all Ukraine's support of the U.S. Congress. What's happening now? There were 25,000 troops on the border of Ukraine on that day. Now there's 220,000. Do you think the invasion of Ukraine is imminent? I do. Why would they escalate? Why would they escalate? It's all about the pipelines, the natural gas, and the contracts to promote, right, this World Bank, this United Nations, this one world order, correct?
Well, that's the way it appears, yes.
Well, here we go. How can Senator Blumenthal and Senator Murphy accept payments from Leitner, who's Burisma's lobbyist, to cover up the Hunter Biden, and Joe Biden corruption?
Oh, I believe the Bidens are totally corrupt. I believe they totally took the money.
Do you know who Allie Carter is?
I don't know who he is. But
no, Allie Carter, it's a woman. She's outwardly talking about being trafficked by Biden. She's a woman. I have her videos. You should read them. You should watch them. Because what she says is absolutely startling. Now, I've been censured so many times on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, that I can't get censured anymore. I'll be knocked off the internet. So I'll never win my election if I can't get my videos out there. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So I'm careful about what I say, but you got to see that video. It's an eye-opener.
Well, you could talk about Emmons because
listen,
she's the first judge in 300 years not to be put back in her seat, rubber stamped back into the position, because she had the most complaints in history.
Well, Gennaro, look at Kavanaugh. Excuse me? This guy stopped a murder investigation.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Why? For the state's attorney to cover up for the governor, who paid a bribe. Now, this is a torture. I'm saying this is torture. So when you find the worst cases like Figura and Theodora, will them getting nailed with $100 million lawsuit change the Middlesex Hospital's practices?
Yeah, if they win, if the people win.
But what if the judge is corrupt? Thank God it's a woman from Kentucky suing the Middlesex Hospital. Did you see the list of plaintiffs on the case and the list of defendants? She's going after Tong. She's going after Lamont. I don't know how they're going to get out of this, because if the judge is appointed by Lamont, there's no oversight. They're cutting babies out of moms without their consent, claiming they're terrorists. That's not a legal defense. They have no defense. It's undefendable. It's a non-defensible position to take. You don't have the authority to steal a human. This isn't just human trafficking. You know, understand?
Yeah, will it be heard in Connecticut, or will it be heard...
No, it's being heard in Kentucky.
So then they're really screwed.
Oh, well, I would be concerned. Look at the case. Look at all the DCF people named in that case. Have you counted them? There's like 30 people.
DCF is as crooked as the crooked could be in Connecticut.
Right. So there is human trafficking. That's why I'm saying watch the Allie Carter video.
How do you spell the last name? C-A-T-E-R?
Hold on, I have it. Hold on, let me see if I have it on my... Let me turn around. It's on another computer. Some of my stuff I don't share because obviously I'll be kicked off the internet. You know what I mean?
I know. When are you going to start campaigning?
Are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, so let me friend you and message you the video on Facebook. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. I have the video here. Hold on, let me go to Facebook. Well, how do I find you?
Mary Puzone.
Okay, hold on. Mary. Can you spell it?
P-U-Z-O-N-E.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Cheshire High School? Lives in Melrose? No.
Pardon?
There's many. There's Igsagny at Ministero Public? No. Cheshire High School?
No. Well, I think they have me listed as Cheshire High School, but I don't go to Cheshire High School.
Your photograph isn't there. You only have 39. Are you from Cherryville?
No, but they don't have my information correct on that at all. They have me in Cheshire High School and all crazy stuff.
Okay, so why don't you find me, because I can't find you. Hold on, I can look for more. Hold on, let me go back. See all. How about that? Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, New York.
Nope.
What is your picture of?
Nothing. I don't have a picture.
Oh, okay. Well, here's one with no picture. Here's one with Here's one in New York.
Nope, it's the one with no picture that says Cheshire, I'm sure.
Okay, so that was the first one. Cheshire High School. I just friended you. Okay, now I'm going to Messenger. Hold on. Do you know Dawn Matos?
No.
You should. I am now sending you it in Messenger, okay?
Uh-huh.
You gotta see this to believe it. Okay, I have it on my screen behind me. Share. Hold on. Oh, you wanted me to send it to your email address? That's probably better. What's your email?
You can do that. It's QNBEE325@yahoo.com.
Okay, I took it as QNBEE325@yahoo.com.
Yes.
Okay, I just sent it.
And you have to send me your address so I could send you all this documentation.
Right. Okay. Send it to 31 Quintard Avenue, Norwalk.
Wait a minute, let me get a pen. Okie dokie.
I appreciate. You know what? The only way we fix this system is we have an important court case, an important court date. We have 50 people show up, and we stand there silently and share the ever-loving crap out of it.
I will be there.
You understand?
Tell me when and where.
Right. Okay, cool. I'm down with you, girl. You let me know if I can help you. I've gone as far as New London to court, but I'm telling you, it's problematic that the state, I'm 2 hours from anyone who's a Republican. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I am a registered Republican.
Okay, I could tell.
My court is in New Haven.
I could tell.
What?
Quintard Avenue, Quintard Avenue, Norwalk, 06854.
06854.
Or if you email me transcripts, it's better, because I can share them.
Okay.
You understand? If I receive an email from you that has a transcript in it, like right now I'm getting Pritchard's transcripts, I'm getting people's transcripts, where the judges are just threatening the people right in front of the court.
Well, if you go on eService, you can go on to saying JUD.com and look up the case for Noel Gonzalez.
Noel Gonzalez. Okay.
And you look up the latest thing from Emmons, the affidavit saying she admits, yeah, I did that, but you can't sue me.
Hold on.
I think I even have a copy of it somewhere.
Hold on.
Let me go.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm having a... Hold on, let me go to JUD. Hold on.
Yeah, I should have got it out before I called you.
Okay, I'm very close to finding it. Hold on.
Okay.
Now, what's the name?
Noel, N-O-L-L-I-E. I'm trying to find my copy of it.
That's her last name, right?
Yeah, Gonzalez.
Oh, Gonzalez is her last name?
Yeah.
Hold on. No case. It does not saying no case. Oh, this Gonzalez is probably the most popular name there is.
Right. Oh, God, I got it. You know what? I'm going to find it and send it to you because
Great.
It's there. I have a copy of it somewhere. You saw my desk. I have mountains of paperwork.
Natasha Gonzalez,
No.
Nerira, Richard Gonzalez,
Noel, N-O-E-L-L, I think.
Nolina.
Noel.
Yeah, it doesn't have it. Is it in New Haven?
Yes.
Hold on. Nolina, N-O-E-L-I-N-A, 84 Twist Street in Meriden.
No. It's the lawyer on that case is the jerk, but he's fighting for him. He testified against Emmons too. Only 2 lawyers testified against her, and they even said other lawyers wanted to testify her, but if they didn't take her off the bench, they were afraid they'd never win another case in her courtroom.
Right.
For testifying against her. And Grennan said, I will probably have to leave the state of Connecticut if she stays on the bench. Because he said she didn't know the simplest answers, and she took people's rights away, and she did backroom dealings. He laid her out in lavender.
Nice. Well, you know what? You got to give him credit.
I did. I've spoken to the man. I did.
Yeah, I can't find the case, so... Well, let's wrap it up here, because we're over an hour.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you. Please watch that Allie Carter video. It's unbelievable.
I will. Trust me, I will.
I can't share it because that would be my last strike, and you wouldn't find me in again. You know what I mean?
That would what?
It would be... I can't have any more strikes or I'm out.
Oh, well, maybe somebody else could let you use their name, and you could go back on.
I can't duplicate what we're doing. We're doing a lot electronically. I'm gonna win this seat for the U.S. Senate on no money. Watch.
Yeah, well, I told you I will work on your campaign if you want me to.
Loving you. Please do. I need everybody you can find because we really need a grassroots raise up.
We need to clean up this judicial system. It's disgusting. I've never
Is it the number one problem in Connecticut? I don't know.
I think, yeah, that and the police department. They're all crooked. They're all in cahoots.
Well, you know, they're like, police are saying, Johnny, you know, everyone who ran as a Republican in Norwalk got the Norwalk police endorsement.
Right.
This last go around, like 7 people. So I went to the meeting and I said, you know, I don't want it. You guys are a bunch of vigilantes. Yeah. They don't appreciate that I've kept them out of trouble. Like, I've defended them to no end, except for Blake, Resnick, Holmes, Ronzinski, Hume, Kahalik. There's about 10 of them I will not protect.
Well, we got to do something. Now, I'm going to go on the 20th and see, it's a Zoom kind of hearing because they're not letting you have them in the courtroom.
Right.
But if they don't let my case move forward, I have no choice but to try to go to the appellate court.
Well, listen, somehow try to get me on the Zoom call. I'll record it.
How do you do it?
You get the day before they send you the link.
No, I mean, they show you have to have the camera on. So, you know what? Maybe I could turn my phone on and you can hear what's being said.
That's cool. Right. I don't have to be there. If you have a phone on like right now, I can record the whole damn thing.
Okay. I'll try to do that.
And actually, we could do a FaceTime share. How many computers do you have?
The papers that they sent me, they say, the court reporter is recording it, and you could get a copy afterwards. You cannot record the case.
Yeah.
They say that. Why do they say that? Why
tell me about it. Yeah, right.
Why can't you?
The whole format of a Zoom call is unconstitutional. They're not supposed to be doing it, but they don't have any other way to do it. The problem is this. The host providers of the Zoom call have ways of doctoring and editing the information for the court. When you look at a Zoom call, it's a third party processing electronic transmissions. Okay, think about this. It's not a clerk, a stenographer typing the actual words. It's ran through a buffer. They can adjust it. They can do every type of manipulation of those records that they want to because you can't prove who did it.
The thing is, now they passed a law in Connecticut that after you have the hearing, you can write to Hartford and they'll give you a copy of the tape. But they don't want you taping what is said. And I don't understand what would be the ramifications if I taped myself in a hearing. I don't understand why you can't do that. Is that against the law?
There's no law about it.
Yeah, so why can't you do it?
There's no law about it, so I don't know. It's not unlawful. There's no law about it.
All right, I'm going to read the thing to you.
They might say you can't do it. Well, you can't do it, but there's no law about it.
I'll have to give you the date and the time. I know it's the 20th. I think it's at 10:30 in the morning.
Oh, and the 20th? I'm going to Florida for 4 days for 6 events.
Well, maybe I could put my phone on record.
Record it. I'll try to listen on my phone when you have it. There's no problem there. I'll try to listen when you do it, okay? But I might be in Florida.
That's okay, because I'm just thinking I can record it on my phone and they wouldn't even know I recorded it.
Go to Walmart and get a $28 digital recorder that has 10,000 hours. Make sure it's the one with the jack to a computer so you can download the video onto another source. There's 2 types of recorders. One doesn't have the jack and one does. Get the one with the jack.
20-inch digital recorder.
Right. It has a jack, like when you charge your phone.
Yeah.
It connects to your computer. You can download what you have on your phone to your computer and you can share it.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is
it's $28. I'm telling you. If they change the transcript on you, you would have them, right?
Right. I'm going to go buy this recorder this week.
Great.
And then try it out.
Pleasure. Hey, we're friends on Facebook. Excellent.
And then I would like to meet you and play it for you. How's that?
Fabulous. Any Sunday night at 6:30.
Okay.
You can be my guest for Surf and Turf.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent.
I will meet you for sure.
Okay. I don't like steak well done, though. I like it rare.
Okay. I like it rare, too.
Excellent. I knew I liked you for some reason. Excellent. Thank you very much. A pleasure to meet you. And by the way, what we're doing, there is a goal here. I can't talk about our motive, but let me tell you, the FBI is watching my videos. Okay?
Okay. Well, that was going to be my next question. Was
oh yeah.
How come the FBI is? I've been to the FBI.
I went 150 times in the last 20 years.
And I told them, this is so corrupt in this courtroom. I said, how are you allowing this?
Comey ran the Connecticut FBI. They're still working for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's okay. Guess what? 50 people in the street with a bullhorn in front of the FBI in New Haven, Connecticut. When we do that, it will be national news.
Well, it's right on State Street. I know where it is. I've been there several times.
I just went there on Sunday afternoon. Yep.
Oh, God. Okay, we're on the same track, I guess.
Yeah, it's all going to happen. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Nice
And
talking to you.
I thank you for standing up to protect those that have no voice.
Yeah, I am. And
Yep.
I have many people that will come too. So.
And you're loud.
Huh?
And you're loud.
Yeah, I'm loud.
I know. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay.
2022 is our year. Watch and learn, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You have no idea what's coming. Thanks.
Pardon?
They have no idea what's coming.
No.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.